I think it would help if you guys ask questions while I'm doing this. If you have questions, you will ask them. We're recording, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just letting my offspring know this as they wander through.
All right.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get photobombed by or Zoom bombed by my daughter. All right. Or not.
Why would she do that?
Why on earth would she do that? She's a cutie pie. Okay, tell me, get some of this garbage out of the way. I'm just going to clear up some of this stuff so that I can start at the beginning. Okay, so in Moodle, this is CIS101, this is Moodle. Just added an extra credit option to work on some of the sample files that you would find in week 4 of Moodle, where we're talking about things like tab stops and possibly some styles. I have the files.
This is stuff we would normally do while we was in class.
This is normally something I would do in the regular sit-down in-person class. Okay, so I'm going to try to do all the steps. So rather than scrolling for days, I'm going to do a Control F, which is fine. I'm going to look for sample because I happen to know the files are called sample. There's the first hit. I'm going to kind of go down here a few. And there we go. Sample company departments list sample. Sample price list sample. Department of Redundancy department. And this happens to be down in week 4, where we're talking about things like the ruler in Word and tab stops on the ruler. There's a picture because very often people have questions about that. It's a little hard to see that. And you will not see it if you don't have the rulers turned on. So under show, under view, and then show, you have to have the rulers turned on. Okay. So if I was doing this from the beginning, I would find the link, click on it, and then I want to save it so I may have my very own copy to fiddle with. Click OK, even if it's gray. Okay, and then I'm going to dump it in my CIS101 folder that I haven't bothered to rename. I've already got a copy here from earlier. Just going to save it over the top. I would do the same thing with the other sample price list. Click on it, save it, double check my location, save it. Again, already have it. So I have both these files downloaded. And then in order to do the extra credit, in order to earn some extra credit, you're going to complete both these sample files in Word and upload them for 5 extra credit points. The price list uses decimal, tab stops, and dot leaders for formatting. The company departments list uses heading styles and indents. Look at the 2 pictures in each file. There's a before and after, basically. Change the formatting to make your file look like the second, better formatted picture. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to minimize a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to go and open up sample price list. Okay, and I first of all have to tell Microsoft to stop helping me. Protected view, oh my gosh, you might have a virus. All or nothing, really not helpful. Enable editing. Okay, and then it does that every time you download. I'm going to try to grab the title bar, slide this out from underneath my zoom controls. Okay, so we have these 2 pictures. And we have a before and we have an after. And I'm going to pump up the size on this so we can see it a little bit better. So here's before, and it would be kind of hard to read. And of course, when you print this, you're not going to see the paragraph marks or the tab characters, but you're still going to get this jumble. And it's just not what you would prefer. And then here's a nice version. So this has the things that we would expect in a phone list or a price list. We have our text left justified because in English and lots of other languages, Spanish and French and German, all kinds of languages, we line up our text on the left, and we want to line up our numbers on the decimal point because it's not just in first grade where the ones place and the tens place exist. That's how our number system works. Okay, so we want to line that up. And if you look here, you'll see that there's a decimal tab stop. You might not recognize it yet, but that is what that is. That is a decimal tab stop on the ruler. So it is controlling this tab character. Over here, we have freewheeling tab characters doing the default, which is stopping at every ½ inch. And that's interesting, but not useful for what we're trying to do. Over here, we have decimal tab stop so that these guys are lining up on that point. The decimals are lining up. Everybody understand that before we get going? I want to make sure you're understanding what we're doing before I show you how.
So you wanted
How do
at
you
two and
add
a half?
the decimal?
Say again, Mark.
How do you add the decimal point of the rule?
Yeah, so
How do you do?
I'm going to, I'll click through over here. I'll click through and dial up a decimal tab, and then I'll stick it on the ruler. And the combination, there has to be a tab character that you're controlling. And then there has to also be a tab stop on the ruler. So you need both parts. I have a tab character sitting here. And in this picture, it's just being default, which is every ½ inch by default. Over here, I stuck a decimal tab stop. So it's a little upside down T with a dot. It's pretty tiny. Extreme zoom. There you can see it just a little bit better. So I'm going to click that decimal tab stop on my ruler, and that will snap all of these over. And I'll have to have all of the paragraphs highlighted that I want to format. Remember, each one of these things that we think of as a line, Word thinks of as a paragraph. Okay. Any other questions before I drag you through how to do it? Okay. So I'm going to scroll down. Oh, first, under View, under Show, make sure you've got ruler turned on. You can't even start to play this game if you don't have ruler turned on. So make sure ruler's turned on. Got a little check mark there. Like we'll see in the midterm, a check mark means that something is on or active or selected. All right. Okie dokie. I'm going to scooch back to the home tab just for fun. All right. So I'm going to slide over and down in my hugely enlarged document. So I scroll down. Let's get off of 3, back down to. Is that a comfortable size for you guys to see?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put my paragraph marks back on because I love my paragraph marks. And I'm going to make my window just, I really want to make it wide enough so I can see my styles. I love my styles. Okay. So here's my list. It's jumbled. I'm not loving it. Also, I don't really like the formatting. So in price list, I'm going to this is going to be the title, kind of. It's going to make it, it's going to be a title on my thing. So I'm going to say something like heading 1. And I don't have this whole thing highlighted because I don't have to. because I happen to know that this is a paragraph level formatting. This is a paragraph level style. So if I click on something, the whole paragraph gets that formatting. I'm going to undo because I definitely don't want that there. But I don't have to have the whole thing highlighted to make that happen because it's paragraph level. And you can check that out by doing a live preview, which you might also see on your midterm tomorrow. When you hover over some formatting, live preview is before you apply it. So do I want to do this? Oh gosh, I don't want to do it there. Yikes, what was I thinking? You know, or if I do want it, then I click it. Ooh, I really don't want that. Hit the undo button. Okay, oops, hit the undo button again. Okay, so I'm sticking a style on this, and a style is a collection of formatting. So it's making it bigger, it's changing the color, it's doing a bunch of other things behind the scenes. Now, down here for my tab stops, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to go from the bottom up just because sometimes it's easier and I can see where to stop. I'm going to highlight all of my paragraphs that I want to affect. And then I'm going to go in, and since I know what I'm doing, I know I'm going to want a decimal tab. So I'm going to do that part out here. I'm going to go there. Okay, there's center. Looks almost exactly like decimal. There's right. There is decimal. And if you're not sure, wait. Hover over it, and you will see the tooltip comes up saying decimal tab. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click someplace that seems good. I need to come out, I don't know, at least that far. So I can click. And if it's too far, I can grab it and I can drag it back. I can drag it out farther. This is one of the things that's so great about tab stops on the ruler. Infinitely better than sitting there and typing spaces or whatever. Push things over because I can grab all of my items and change where the numbers go. Questions?
No.
Okay, and this magic is happening because I had already put one and only one and only one, exactly one tab between each of my pieces of data. So I have hat and then one tab and then a number that's the price. Okay, so this magic doesn't happen if you don't do that. Okay, so I did that. Say, I would normally be doing this on the keyboard with a Control S, but you guys can't see that, so I'm clicking more things on the screen than I would normally. Okay, so I have this. The difficulty is they still kind of float. Your eye might start on mittens and end up on swimsuit, right? That would be a problem. You want to be able to scan easily from left to right. Wouldn't it be nice if there was something that would lead my eye from left to right?
That
If
would be great.
only, that would be great. Wouldn't that just be wonderful? If only. So I'm going to double click on my tab on the ruler because I can just go straight here. There's a thing in the ribbon, and like I said, I refuse to figure out where it is or try to remember it because I can just go straight to the thing on the ruler and double click it. Okay, so I'm in, and remember, this is an ancient dialog box. That means it's good. The bugs are fixed. Yay, this thing is 20, 30 years old. The difficulty is there's no live preview. There's no, we will only see what's going to happen after we eventually hit OK. So just FYI, you're not going to see anything moving over here, and that's okay. That's how it works. Okay, so I'm in here at 2.5. Great. I'm on a decimal tab. Fabulous. And I want a dot leader. And I hit set and OK just because. I've only got one. I could probably just hit OK, but I just always do it that way. Okay, and I get these lovely little dot leaders. And that's how it's going to look when it
Wow.
prints. Yeah, and so now I'm going to drop it down to 100%, so it's a little bit more like if you printed it. So now I have these great dot leaders that lead my eye across the line. So hopefully I wind up in the right place. Questions? Do you want me to do it again?
So we're just going to save it now and upload it?
Yeah, why don't we do two separate ones, one for each file?
Okay.
Okay. Any questions about that?
That's the only one we're gonna send it, right?
We're going to do two files. So we're going to do the second file also.
Yeah, but the other, the right, it's gonna be just have to be the like the second. It will be the same.
It's a separate, the company departments is a separate file, is a different skill. Michael, tell me when we are ready to go.
We're going. Yeah.
Oh, we're going already. Good. Okay. So the second file, just to backtrack in case you started with this video, maybe I can backtrack. Okay. So we were in week 4 of Moodle, CIS101, and we just did the sample price list, and now we're doing sample company departments list. When you finish both, you can upload them for extra credit. I downloaded the files, see previous video. I stuck them in my folder. I should probably put them under a week, but I'm not going to. There's my file company departments list, -start. I open it. Microsoft offers to help me. I tell them to leave me alone because this is a ridiculous all or nothing, really gives me no information. Enable editing. Plus, I'm getting it from a source that I trust. Okay, so change the formatting to make the list more readable. We look at the one on the left, and it's kind of just a jumble. Could you go through here and figure out what department people are in? Yes, of course you can. Is it going to take you a long time? Yeah, it's going to take you longer than what you want. So this is bad formatting on the left. Bad formatting doesn't help you, doesn't, makes it a little bit hard to figure out. And then on the right, some really simple changes. All I did was add some headings and I did some indenting. So what I have done, if you read the book that I linked and suggest, Robin Williams, Robin Williams, no relation to the actor, and it's Designer's Guide for Non-Designers. And she talks about alignment. If you're trying to organize things, alignment, proximity, so grouping, and repetition, and contrast. So we have our company departments list is bigger, and it's got some distance away from the other things. And then we have repetition, big, middle, medium, big heading, accounting, human resources, sales. We have the same thing, and they're all on the left edge. And then indented and grouped, and in a different color. So in the normal font, we have the people's names. So it's really easy to see, oh, we've got 3 different departments, and we can easily jump between these. One thing to point out, unfortunately, the default headings, I love styles, I love headings, but I don't love the recent choice in color. This is light blue. Blue is my favorite color. I've got nothing against blue. What happens when I print this? Do you print in color at school and at work, or do you print in black and white usually?
Black and white and gray.
Black and white and gray. Yeah, and at home, I have my default set to always print black and white if I can, because color ink is expensive. So we print in gray. So I want this heading to stand out, and standing out is bigger, darker, bolder. That's how you emphasize things, right? A stronger font. And this is going to be exactly the opposite. So if you print this out, you're going to get gray, black, 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 gray, black, black, gray, and so on my home computer, I have changed these styles. Normally, I change these styles to be black and bold. So just FYI, you got to think about what's going to happen when you print this on a regular printer. Okay, I have this set up to look like the school computers though, so. All right, any questions about what we're going to do or why we're going to do it before we get into how?
Yeah, why we're going to do?
Okay, so if I want to give this list to people, or if I'm at work and I want to have this tacked up next to my phone, and maybe I have phone numbers next to this also. I want my eye to be able to jump very quickly to the department that I want. And over here, I have to read through it to find what I want. And over here, my eye can just jump to the correct department. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy
So
to find.
yeah, does the list on the right feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
one feels better. It feels less chaotic. I feel like I could easily find things on it. And the reason why is because the alignment is changed. So this is on the far left and this is indented once. So this is aligned but moved over. And it's the headings are bigger. That's biggest. This is kind of medium. And then that's regular size. So it's those changes that make it much, much easier, more comfortable to read. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is drawing your attention to why is it, where's my other, well, with that other document that we did, why is it that one list is easier to read than the other? So why
For the
Why
dots.
is that hard to read? Yeah, the dots and the jumble. And over here, oh, this is easy to read. That's nice and easy to read. This is chaotic and hard to read, and I don't like it. It's icky. Why is it icky? Because you can look at this and go, oh, that's icky. Oh, that's kind of nice. Ooh, icky. Why? And it has to do with things like it's formatting. It's formatting choices. So I really suggest that you read that PDF. There's a free PDF online of her book, and it's in the public library and the LCC library. And it's a fast read, and it goes through just showing you these things. Okay, so once you understand what you want to do, now the question is, how do I do it with Word? Okay, so I'm scrolling down, and here is my junky list that I'm starting with. So I'm going to click on Company Departments List, and I know I'm going to use a style. So I'm going to make this just enough wider so that my styles open up. Headings. Okay, so there's my, what's this called again? What's it going to be called tomorrow on your midterm?
Heading.
It is a heading. It is a style. That's not on your midterm. But what is this thing where I get to see what my formatting is going to be before I click?
Preview something.
Some kind of preview.
Kind of.
What's the vocabulary for that? It's not dead. It's Live. Huh?
Nothing.
Live preview. Live preview. Like a live, like I'm doing it right now. Kind of like a live stream. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with heading 1 because I want it to be nice and big. I'm going to highlight this stuff, and I happen to know what I'm planning. By the way, I'm going to turn my paragraph marks back on. I know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to indent first. Oh, and also, I don't like this spacing. I want to get rid of that extra spacing, so I'm going to click on no spacing. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to indent again because no spacing. Styles are a group of formatting. So in addition to getting rid of that extra space after paragraphs, it also is left align. It also is black. It also is Calibri size, font size 11, etc. It's a bunch of things. Okay, so I do that. I have to redo this. And then I'm going to go and click on accounting. I'm going to make it heading 3. And I might have a hard time finding it in here because, oh, well, there it is. But let's pretend I couldn't find it. I happen to know it's Control, Alt, 3. So I hold down Control, I hold down Alt, and I tap 3 because I love these things and I use them all the time. And then I'm going to click on Human Resources, and I'm going to do F4. And I'm going to click on Sales, and I'm going to do F4. F4 repeats your last command when you're in Word. It is not one of the ones that I had you memorize for the midterm because F4 repeats the last command in a lot of programs, but in Excel, that we're going to be starting really soon, it does something completely different.
Most of them already know about it.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good, because they're already into Excel. Okay, so I did that, and then let me double check. So I don't think that alignment's right. Let me go back up. Oh, yeah, look at this. Yeah, I don't have that over quite that far. So I'm going to come in here, and it's probably going to mess everything up. Oh, well. Yeah, I see on my ruler, I see this little thing that talks about where my indent is, my left indent. I'm going to drag it to 1/4 inch. I think that looks better. I think that's the decision, obviously, that I made here. Oh, now I've goofed up Human Resources. Okay, hang on. Control Alt 3, Control Alt 3. Okay. Let me do that again. I just Control Z'd all the way back to the beginning. I just smashed the Control Z. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. I'll do it in a little bit different order. I'm going to do no spacing first this time. Boom. And then company department list, Control Alt 1. Accounting. Let's see, I'll just grab these guys. And this time, instead of using the indent button, increase indent, which takes them over 1/2 inch, since I know where I'm headed, I'm going to just pull it over 1/4 inch. Okay. And then I'm going to fix my 3 headings. So Control Alt 3, and I could just Control Alt 3 again, or I could have hit F4, and I am done. Questions?
Control S.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of course, I'm just going to undo back to the dawn of time again in a sec. But yes, definitely save after something works. All right. I don't see light bulbs going off over your heads in the Zoom.
I have a question.
Questions?
What do you use for live preview and human resource and sales?
Okay. So let me just undo. Whoops. I held down the Z. Go forward. Nope. 1 second.
Control Y.
There we go. Yeah, yeah. Only I control wide my typing of the Z because I'm a goober. Um, okay. So I'm not sure exactly about your question, so I'm going to go forward very slowly. Stop me when you get to your question, please. So first I do the no spacing style, and I'm going to make this one heading 1, and it's live preview until I click it. I could go through and look at all of my styles and see all my styles, and then when I actually click it, it does it. And then I know that I only want this to go over 1/4 inch. And I'm grabbing the rectangle at the bottom. There are 3 parts to this little hourglass. There's the first line indent, there's the hanging indent, is the bottom triangle, and then there's the rectangle, the base of the hourglass, that's the whole left indent. I'm going to slide that over. And then I'm going to come back and adjust these guys. So I'm going to make this heading 3. I'm going to make this heading 3. And I'm going to make this heading 3.
Oh, okay, that was my question.
Okay. And I did it 2 different ways. I can just apply heading 3 to each of these, or I was just showing you another way, which was to apply it to accounting and then F4, or on my laptop keyboard, it's FN, the thing that activates function keys, and then tap F4. I can just do repeat command, repeat command. So whichever one you like better.
Okay.
On a laptop, I tend to just repeat the command. Just make it heading 3, make it heading 3, make it heading 3, because it's difficult to make my hand hit all of the keys to get the function keys to work.
Can you show us where it is on style, in the style box?
Sure, sure. Now that I've used it once, it's up here. They always exist. There's a whole lot of files that are in here all the time, but it only displays ones that you've used recently. And a few, I mean, normal is always there, no spacing is always there, heading 1's always there, title is always there, and some others. But some of these guys don't show up until you've used them at least once recently. Was that the question?
Yep.
Okay. And these styles are just fabulous. So and if I don't like I don't like this blue, so I can right click on it and I can say modify, and I can change it. I can say, would you please stop being blue, which is going to be ridiculous when you print, and why don't you bold yourself? I mean, seriously, what are you doing with your life? And then I want this to be forever on my home computer. All new documents based on this template. Do this forever, and yeah, show it in the styles gallery. Guys, quit hiding it. Quit hiding it. All right, and I say okay. Boom. And now this has changed. And I'm going to do heading 3 also. I'm going to right click, modify. Notice, so this guy changed. I've only got 1 of them. Here I've got 3 of these heading 3s. Okay. So this is a place where styles is so nice. I'm going to change it to black. I'm going to tell it to be bold. I'm going to tell it to all my documents. All my documents. And yeah, show it in styles. Don't hide it from me. Come on, guys. Work with me here. All right. And I say, okay. Boom. All of my heading 3s everywhere in this document. It's not very impressive when it's only 1 page. But if this was a 100-page document, a 200-page document, I used to work with those all the time. When you're working with long documents, being able to change the formatting in hundreds of places all at one time is absolutely fabulous. Other questions?
So you want us to save both these documents at the same time, upload them?
Right. So save both these documents. I would show you how to upload, but
Yeah.
I'm a teacher account, so, but you guys have been uploading your vocab, so you guys know how to do it. So upload both documents, and then I will be happy to add 5 whole points of extra credit to your grade.
All right. Do you have anything else before we stop recording?
Go forth, make good life choices.